Hello everyone and welcome to another Marvel Crisis Protocol unboxing. Today for you we have CP71, X-23 and Honey Badger, releasing alongside the worldwide release of the X-Men wave that got delayed, Colossus, Juggernaut, Gambit, Rogue, etc. Those have already been unboxed a bunch of months ago because they released early in Europe, so if you want to see those, go back and check. So this will just be a quick one, looking at the tail end of that release. They kind of had to put the two of them together because of COVID delays and production delays and whatnot. This box did not have a kind time in getting to me. It is badly beaten up, but as long as the contents inside are okay, that shouldn't be too bad. The next generation of Weapon X, Laura Kinley and Alchemax Genetics. Oh, that's not a name. That's the company that made Honey Badger. Gabriel Kinney. Alright, let's crack this open. And I am curious if this is continuing the trend of no assembly instructions. It's part of the same wave, so presumably. But because it's out in America, the QR code should work. So we have our protective cardboard. We don't care about that. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing. Again. Alright, let me grab my phone. I want to see. It should work. Let's test. Yep, sure enough, they are on there along with Juggernaut and whatnot. Let me just make sure the instructions actually load. They do indeed, into a printable page of sorts, although it doesn't look like there's any complications. You do have to attach the two sides of Honey Badger's hair to her face, which looks utterly pointless, but other than that, everything else is like you would be able to work it out normally. But it still does not excuse not providing assembly instructions. Again, because of the way Asmodee makes their releases, it's very bad, because the website only gets updated when America gets a product, and that's not always fair, because they don't always get the products first. So it feels cheap, it feels tacky, and hopefully it's just because of things produced during COVID. Hopefully. And they'll go back to actually doing assembly instructions so I can judge those instead of their business practices. But anyway, let's make sure the sprue is okay, because as I say, the box was a little beaten up. We have our standard 4 bases now and forever. Now let's see, two very small bits of sprue. This appears to be Honey Badger. Also, at the wrong angle, it kind of looks like she's giving the finger. But she's not, she just has one adamantium claw. I think they're adamantium, right? They're all adamantium. I'm not sure. I've never actually seen Honey Badger in any Marvel property. I've seen X-23 in Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, and it's not a kind cameo in that. But either way, look how small her head is. And that's got to have two pieces of hair attached to it. Is that two head options? It is. I can't for the life of me tell the difference. Oh, you know what? There is no difference. They're both marked as head 1. So why do you get 2? I don't know. Alright, X-23, the slightly larger of the sort of sisters. Again, pretty basic. She's got two adamantium claws. None in her feet apparently. And it's just two sides of the chest. The stone that she's leaping off of, her legs, her claws. Looks like you've got to do one forearm to wrist. And then her head is a one-piece sculpt, which is good. Easy enough. Not a lot of sprue for what they're charging for this particular box. I found it nice and cheap in the UK. Shout out to Zatu Games. But for the place who's trying to get $35.99 for this, it's ridiculous. Alright, I'm going to try and safely remove these cards and we'll take a look. Alright, so we have some Brotherhood of Mutant and X-Men affiliation icons. Was the background of the Brotherhood of Mutants always red like that? I don't have any handy to check. And if I remember rightly, this isn't connected to a mission or anything like that. This is something connected to Honey Badger herself. From these cards got shown off, and well, actually they got leaked super early, and then they officially got shown off a while back. Incidentally, not as paid a sponsorship or anything for giving a shout out to Zatu Games. They just do the best price of Crisis Protocol in the UK, as far as I'm aware. If you know somewhere cheaper, by all means tell me. I want a good deal. Alright, let's look at, let's see, Honey Badger's a 2-threat character, so let's look at actually no, let's do the cards first. That's the order I usually do it, and there's only 2 of them. We have Wolverines, and we have Jonathan the Unstoppable. That's a fantastic picture. It's a cool picture as well, honestly. Let me see if I guessed the artist correctly. No, I didn't. I don't recognize that name. Huh, okay. So, Scott, Logan, Howlett, interesting that they specify their names, and I guess they have to because they can't go by their... Although, they could have just said Wolverine for him, couldn't they? Interesting. Anyway, James, Logan, Howlett, and Laura Kinney may spend 3 to play this card. While they're within 2 of each other, they cannot... Oh, this is Got Your Back, or whatever it's called, the Captain America Winter Soldier card, but for them. The difference is, characters that attack them take 1 damage, as long as they aren't dazed. Do they do bleed as well, maybe? No, that's a shame. Probably won't see much use as a result then. Too situational. Sorry, I know something about the way Wolverine is drawn there that, again, if you look at it from the wrong angle, looks very bad. Not going to say what, though. Use your imagination. Jonathan the Unstoppable. Honey Badger can spend 2. Place the Jonathan token within 1, which is that token right there. While the Jonathan token is in play, it contests objectives as if it was an injured allied character. If an enemy ends its movement within 1, it's removed. It's the same as that Mystique ability. Although it specifies in this case that it counts as injured. Okay. During cleanup phase, if an allied Honey Badger is on the battlefield and there is no allied Jonathan token on the battlefield, you may return this card to your available tactics. So it keeps on recurring. So it's a way to use her to hold backline objectives in the same way as Mystique can. On to the tactics cards then. 2 threat, Honey Badger, hopefully in focus there. 5 health, medium move, 3/2/2 is defenses. Claw Slash, range 2, 5 dice physical, gain power equal to damage dealt, bleed on a wild. Hamstring is her spending attack for 3 power. Range 2 as well, also 5 dice. If this attack deals damage, after it's resolved, the target gains slow and bleed, and she gets elusive on a wild, which means she can advance medium. So a kind of hit and run built in on a wild only. Too dangerous to ignore for 2 power. An enemy character within 2 of this character targets another. It's the same as the Luke Cage power. And this is her best ability, even if only just for the name. Ankle Biter. This character cannot contest, interact, or hold objective tokens. Additionally, when an enemy character within 1 of this character is attacked by another allied character, the enemy character rolls 1 less defense dice. So she has a little range 1 aura of taking away enemy defense dice. Not super fantastic, but it's something. And then Little Sis, this is a combination thing with X-23. If Laura Kinney is within 3 and is damaged by an enemy effect after it's resolved, Honey Badger can move medium towards X-23. And you can only use it once per turn, and she has healing factor 1. On the flipped over side, good art on both sides. She loses 1 health, so she goes from 5 to 4. Keeps the healing factor 1, and it looks like everything else is as it was. Yeah, I think so. I mean, she's a 2-threat character, so what can you say, really? I hate the rule that 2-threat characters have about not contesting or holding objectives. I get why it has to be a thing, so you can't just flood the field with a bunch of cheap characters, but I feel like there's a better way to stifle that than doing that kind of rule. But that's just me. So last but not least, X-23 is a 3-threat character, so this is a cheap box in terms of threat level. Also 5 health on our healthy side, medium move. 3/3/2 as opposed to 3/2/2 defense. Again, not ideal mystic defense. Adamantium Slash, 2, 5 dice physical, bleed on a single wild, pierce on a wild. So slightly better, but rolling same number of dice as the Claw Slash. And then Claw Rush for 2, so 3, so she's got slightly more range. 6 dice physical. After it's resolved, she gets to move medium, and it has pierce on a wild. No bleed though. Frenzy for 2. If this character dazes or KOs an enemy with an attack during its activation, they can spend to use this superpower. After the attack is resolved, this character advances small, then makes an Adamantium Slash attack. Okay. So if you had 4 power to play with, you could move in with a Claw Rush, daze or KO somebody, spend the 2, get another move, do an Adamantium Slash, at the very least maybe get a bleed. She'd work well with Blade, I think. I mean, I guess anybody who does bleed in general, but if you have someone quite quick just darting around the enemy lines. Adamantium Skeleton, which I believe annoyed nerds, because I think she doesn't technically have an Adamantium Skeleton, she's only got implants in her hands and feet. whatever. This is the same as the Wolverine one. She counts as size 3 for being thrown and such. Assassin training. This character may reroll 1 die in its attack and defense rolls. Not dodge rolls though. Big Sis. It's exactly the same as the Little Sis rule, just with the names reversed. So they work well in tandem together. And she has healing factor 2 like Wolverine does. So her healing factor is better than Honey Badger's. On her flipped over side, 5 health, so her health... Oh yeah, she does have the leg spike there. Does she on this side? No. Huh. Well, either way. 5 health on this side still, and I don't believe anything else changes here either. You know what might have been thematic on this side? If Frenzy dropped down by 1, so it still costs some power, but not as much. But maybe that'd be too powerful for a 3-threat character with healing factor. Okay, 10 health in total. She's got a good amount of health for a 3-threat character when you factor in healing factor, as long as she doesn't get spiked, essentially. You can make use of Honey Badger to get her up the table faster, or vice versa. And a list with X-23, Honey Badger, Wolverine, Blade, and someone to help with power generation. That would be a very interesting list, but I'm not sure how you could make it work into an affiliation. But anyway, that is going to do it for a look at what's in the X-23 and Honey Badger box for Marvel Crisis Protocol. The March releases are the introduction of the hired goons. So it's Nick Fury Jr. with the Shield Agent grunts, and then the new Daredevil. It's the same threat value as the current one, but better in every way, with the Elektra model and Hand Assassin grunts. So we'll be getting an introduction to grunts next time. Thank you very much for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. See you in the future for some more Crisis Protocol coverage. Until then, ta-ta for now.